We have gold in Fort Knox. So if there's an attack on the dollar, the U.S. government has a way to defend the dollar. It's not something they talk about a lot. We have a strategic petroleum reserve, so the government can control the price of oil. So we need a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Other countries know we know that. They know it, and they're starting to buy. And even countries where before there was a belief that Bitcoin is this bad thing are waking up to the fact that they need to hold some Bitcoin to make sure that they're not left out of this game, because
Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. Fred Thiel dives into Marathon Digital's bold Bitcoin strategy and how they plan to lead the crypto mining world. We'll cover their growth plans, challenges, and future vision. Let's jump in.
you can choose to just accumulate Bitcoin, but you need to find a way to acquire them. So either you use debt and you use creative financing forms, kind of like Strategy does, and they've been very successful in doing that, or you can generate profits that you can convert into Bitcoin, which is less dilutive to your shareholders. We believe it's a mix, right? There are times in the industry where Bitcoin will go through a pretty impressive price appreciation. And you have to look at, if I'm going to invest $1 billion today, build a site, do all this stuff, it'll take me 12 to 18 months to produce my first Bitcoin. What will have happened to the price appreciation of Bitcoin in that time period? And last year, we had the belief and conviction that Bitcoin price is going to move. And so it makes sense to buy Bitcoin at $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 because it was going to run. And part of the reason we had 1.2 billion of adjusted EBITDA was because of this run up in the price of Bitcoin that we held. Had we not bought $2 billion of Bitcoin at the end of last year and in the fall of last year, we wouldn't have had that same size number. So it's really balance sheet management, and it's being really smart about how you allocate debt, how you allocate equity, and how you invest in depreciating assets. Now, here's a key thing. Most miners today that operate sites, especially if you're grid attached, you're paying 4 cents a kilowatt hour. Global hash rates, not only doubling every halving, but in between, it's most probably tripling, right? In 2023, we had a halving just because global hash rate grew. We had a halving earlier this year, and global hash rate has continued to grow. And hadn't the price of Bitcoin taken this dip, we would have been on our way to 1.2 zettahash of global hash rate by the end of this year, possibly. China has turned on mining again. Russia's mining, etc. It's growing.
Bitcoin is holding steady, trading between $91,700 and $95,850 as the crypto world waits for Donald Trump's 100-day speech. With Bitcoin stuck just below the $96,000 mark, traders and investors are eager to see if Trump's remarks could finally break this tight range. His administration's stance on crypto has been a major topic, and today's speech could bring the kind of clarity that might light a fire under Bitcoin's price. There's also a big focus on whether Trump will confirm plans for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, something that could send BTC soaring toward $100,000. Adding fuel to the bullish outlook, over $4.7 billion worth of Bitcoin has been pulled from exchanges since April 22. When Bitcoin supply on exchanges drops, price tends to become more sensitive to rising demand, and a positive signal from Trump could be the spark. However, there's still some caution. If Trump's speech leans heavily on tariffs or aggressive budget cuts, it might weigh down broader markets and keep Bitcoin's gains in check, at least for now. Traders are watching $95,000 closely. Multiple attempts to break this resistance have come close, and many believe that a breakout is near. If Bitcoin finally clears it, $100,000 might be the next big stop.
It's really important to look at the biggest CapEx number a Bitcoin miner has are their machines, right? The infrastructure you can write off over multiple years, but 70% of your CapEx are your rigs. Well, you have to write them off over 3 years. Imagine if instead of writing them off over 3 years, you could take that miner after 3 years, put it into a site where you had almost no cost energy that only runs 5, 6, 7 hours a day. You just extended the life and you become much more capital efficient because now you're getting a much better return out of your assets. So becoming Bitcoin mining today you have to be a very smart capital allocator. You have to be a very smart financer. You have to really know how to manage your treasury, and you have to know when to buy, what to buy, how to build. It's a very complex business.
You mentioned Russia, China, many other countries are all kind of looking at this. Everyone's obsessed with the strategic Bitcoin reserve, rightfully so. We saw Abu Dhabi come out and say that they've started to buy at least the ETF, maybe more. But everyone seems to have completely thrown aside the offhand comments of, I think it was a Russian finance minister, and then also of Putin saying, not only are they mining, they're using it for transactions, and it seems like they're kind of, I don't want to say going all in, but definitely becoming much more friendly towards Bitcoin. What are you seeing at the nation state level? I know that you guys have looked at various sites around the world. Just talk a little bit as to how do you evaluate who's real, who's not, who's talking, and who's actually acting?
So the global economy has operated with a very high dollar dominance. With the current level of U.S. debt, the previous weaponization of the dollar, the global economy is very scared of dollars, right? The international sovereigns have decreased their buying of U.S. debt. The sixth largest buyer of treasury bills today is a stablecoin company called Tether. And the U.S. government is very scared of the world going away from the dollar. And so they want to ensure dollar dominance. President Trump said he wants the BRICS countries not to abandon the dollar, right? So if countries are moving to own lots of Bitcoin and trade in Bitcoin, the U.S. has to have a lot of Bitcoin, and they have to hold a lot of hash rate. Because Bitcoin mining, I think, is this big misnomer. We should really rename it. It's called Bitcoin transaction processing and Bitcoin network security. Two different functions, right?
BlackRock is once again making waves in the Bitcoin market, with its iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, ETF buying a massive $970 million worth of Bitcoin on April 28. This marks the second largest day of inflows for the fund since its record-breaking $1.12 billion buy in November 2024, according to Sosa Value data. With retail interest still cautious, BlackRock's continued aggressive buying is acting as a major pillar of support for Bitcoin's price. Analysts say these inflows are providing structural support that could help push Bitcoin even higher in the coming weeks. The IBIT fund now controls over $54 billion in Bitcoin assets, holding a staggering 51% of the total spot Bitcoin ETF market share, based on Dune Analytics data. Despite other ETF like RK Invest RKK seeing large outflows, BlackRock's heavy accumulation is keeping momentum alive. In fact, IBIT's size now ranks it among the world's top 40 ETF across both crypto and traditional finance sectors. Over the past week, U.S. spot Bitcoin ETF have pulled in more than $3 billion in net inflows, marking their second-best week since launch. This flood of institutional investment has been a key reason for Bitcoin's recovery above $94,000. Analysts from firms like Nexo and Bitget Research believe that with BlackRock leading the charge, Bitcoin's rally is far from over. They point out that ETF-driven demand previously played a crucial role when Bitcoin reclaimed the $50,000 mark, and now the same momentum could drive it toward new highs. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.